Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Los Angeles Bias. As usual, I'm your host, Russell, here at the University of Southern California. And wow, which touchdown was your favorite? Because if you liked scoring, this was the game for you. I think with a total of 11 touchdowns, your USC Trojans defeat the Arizona Wildcats by a resounding score of 49-35. That's right. It was just a scoring jamboree. It was insane. It led to an extremely long but very, very entertaining game. But before we jump into all the football, all the stats and everything like that, once again, we're going to go ahead and jump into the life of a Trojan. So a couple of clips I have for you today. Of course, it was homecoming weekend, so I've got a little bit of the campus during homecoming, which can be described as chaotic, but just filled with just the Trojan spirit throughout the air. We've got some Hapas walking around Santa Monica, and a new friend of the show, Elise, who picked the game to be her first game. So go ahead, take a look at that, and enjoy.
So everyone just slowly kind of peel out just so we can get everyone's head. Hi, Matt. Oh my God, that was terrifying. Oh my God.
Kate, run. Kate, you can make it.
Please stand clear. Doors are closing.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, so that was quite the fun weekend we just had, but let's go ahead, let's jump into all the football because there's a lot to get into regarding this game with a relatively short amount of time. But I think whenever you start to talk about USC, as it's been the entire year, you've got to talk about Sam Darnold. And he came out, he didn't have the best game of his career, but he did have a good game. 311 yards, 2 touchdowns, and one awful pick, a terrible pick in the end zone nonetheless. I believe after the game, he even said it was probably the worst interception he's thrown all year. But luckily, the Trojans were able to rally past that and get the W. My favorite stat about Sam Darnold's game was that the fact that he spread the ball out to 10 different receivers this game. That's right, 10 different Trojans caught passes this game, which accounted for 2 touchdowns, 311 yards, like I said earlier. That's just really nice to see. You know, the last couple episodes, I've talked about how he just looks at Deontay Burnett. If he's not open, he just scrambles around and everything like that. He did do a lot of scrambling. I mentioned this last game. Stop rolling to the left. Just have him roll out to the right. Here's a short montage of a bunch of his passes where he rolled out to the right with extreme success.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I was a problem.
I got Nazi flavor.
See how good he is when he's just able to roll out to the right when they let him be Sam Darnold. It's Deontay Burnett, Michael Pittman, and Tyler Vaughns. Those are our top 3. Those are our 1, 2, and 3 receivers, and I love it. I think that's how it should be. Then we throw in a tight end here and there. For most of this game, it was Daniel Materbebe because Tyler Petit actually got hurt. He had 1 catch, and at halftime he was seen in a slink, so that's not good news. But regarding tight ends, we have a lot of talent at the tight end position, so that's really nice. But I think we finally have cemented our receiving options just about 10 games into the season, you know, just about time. But I think the real story for the USC offense in this game was our rushing attack, because holy cow, we dominated on the ground. with 331 yards on 52 attempts, 52 rushing attempts. That's insane. In total, USC had 78 offensive plays. That is amazing. If you get 78 offensive plays, you dominate the ball, you dominate the line of scrimmage, and you're going to win the game. And that surely showed. When we talk about the rushing game, we're going to talk about our dude of the day because we had so many players just shell out the yards this game. I really wanted to give it to a Cedric Ware. I'm going to talk over this, but here are a couple plays by Cedric Ware where he just balled out. He had 122 yards, including this amazing touchdown where it really put USC over the top. He just had an amazing game. But even with this just outstanding performance, I can't do it. I can't give him the dude of the day because there was another Trojan who just decided to have one of the best games of his career. That's right, for almost, I believe the third straight week, we're going to have Ronald Jones be our dude of the day because he just, with a total of 194 yards and 3 touchdowns, including some of these.
Ooh! Go! Get it in there! Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! There you go! Got it, baby! Hey, call it. What's the call? Yeah! Let's go! That's right! There we go! That's how you show it! There you go!
Amazing runs. Ronald Jones just had an amazing day, well deserving of our Dude of the Day award, and just like he's really been the dude of the day for the last ones, dude of the month, I guess, dude of the year pretty much. I don't think he's getting enough national recognition. I believe Ronald Jones should really be in the Heisman conversation. He's had a bigger effect on our team than Sam Darnold has. When Ronald Jones is going, this USC team is unstoppable. Then that combination with our defense, I think USC is not getting nearly enough respect in regards to our rushing game, in regard to this possible Heisman contender. Yes, Saquon Barkley is good. Yes, Bryce Love is good. But if you didn't notice, both of them had, I'm not going to say terrible, but very, very bad games this weekend. Meanwhile, Ronald Jones goes up for over 200 total yards. He had like 34 through receiving. 194 on the ground and 3 touchdowns. It's insane. He should be getting more national recognition because he's a stud. He's just straight up, he is a stud. So congratulations, Ronald Jones, on having another just career game. But I need to give a quick shout out to like a backup dude of the day. I don't know, the runner-up, and that would be John Houston Jr. Holy cow, as that's a guy whose name is not really said too much around like Trojan fan pages, but this guy had the game of his life. 1 touchdown, which was off of this play.
I got you. Free chick flick. Oh!
That's right, the amazing pump block return for a touchdown. He had a sack, he had an interception, which was pretty much caught by the receiver, and then he decided to grab it, say, no, this is mine, give it to me, and just rip it out of his hands. He just straight up bullied that kid. And then after that, he had 10 total tackles. That is amazing. So I actually got this. It's a mini bobblehead. It's kind of cute. This is going to be our runner-up trophy, even if it might be a little bit better than this. That's okay. So John Houston Jr., congratulations. You get this little Alumni Association bobblehead. But then after that, we need to talk about our defense because without our defense playing the way they did, we would not have won this game. We held Khalil Tate down in the first half, and it showed. They only had, what, six points, 2 field goals in the first half. Yes, Khalil Tate did end up going off a little bit, but they were able to hold him to 307 yards total. That's passing and rushing, which is amazing considering he's had like 250 yards rushing the last 3 games alone. So shout out to the USC defense. I believe they had that one. Jana Harris had that 1 interception, which really kind of sealed the game. Let's not get unsportsmanlike conduct penalties because the last thing we need is more flags. Holy cow, never have I seen so much hate for referees, so much deserving hate for referees. If you looked at Twitter during the game, half of college football Twitter was just roasting these refs because they were terrible. They gave out free third down towels that happened to be yellow in the student section every time they threw a flag. We were throwing them too because frankly it was awful. It was a flag frenzy. There were 14 flags on USC for a total of 123 yards. It was absurd. It was just terrible. It was just annoying. This was premier Pac-12 refs. Everybody seemed to be in agreement too around the nation that these refs were terrible. They had 5 reviews in under 3 minutes in the third quarter. That third quarter lasted over an hour long. That game ended close to midnight after a 7:45 kickoff time. It was absolutely ridiculous, but nonetheless, the USC Trojans were still able to come out with that W. And with that, we're going to go ahead and put on a fancy little victory hat. Unfortunately, once again, Notre Dame did win, but UCLA got rocked, which actually kind of scares me because Josh Rosen was actually diagnosed with a concussion. I would really like to see him play in our game, USC versus UCLA, seeing that will be my last home game as a senior at USC. But I would not be surprised if he just packs it up and just decides not to play another game this year. But with that, next week, the USC Trojans look to wrap up the Pac-12 South. That's right, become the Pac-12 South champions with a victory in Colorado against the Buffaloes, which, besides Oregon State, Colorado has just looked like probably the worst team in the Pac-12 South. It's UCLA, Oregon State, and Colorado. They're all fighting for that last place right now. But I'm very excited for that game. It'll be very exciting for the USC Trojans to wrap up the Pac-12 South. So with that, rough the Buffs and fight on.